Okay, we need to talk, all of us, about what just happened here. You guys know that I'm a largely positive person, but it is really hard to see an upside to this ruling. It has put a pit in my stomach. It is flashing danger signs. It is a very bad thing, and let me explain why. The Supreme Court has basically just given Donald Trump total immunity when he is in office. He can basically call anything an official act, and because we know the Supreme Court, we know that they will back him up. And once he is president again, should he become president again, he can do whatever he wants. As the dissenting justices said, they have basically just made him a king. They have basically just gotten rid of the rule that says that no one is above the law. That is what our Supreme Court, the MAGA justices, have just done. And if you're not afraid, I'm sorry to tell you, you should be. Because Donald Trump now owes nobody anything. Should he become president, he can literally do whatever he wants. And since we know he is out for himself, and we know that he is disloyal, and we know that he has violent tendencies from things people have told us who have worked with him, and we know that he has talked about unaliving protesters, unaliving former administration officials who he doesn't like anymore, this was just a warrant for him to do whatever he wants. And so I would suggest that we all stop talking really quickly about who should be the Democratic candidate and just make sure that whoever we have, and right now it's Joe Biden, wins. I can't emphasize enough how dangerous this ruling is and how much we will never, ever recover should Donald Trump win the election in November. This is now not even about party anymore. I don't care if you were a Trump supporter until today. You need to understand that Donald Trump put these people into the Supreme Court so that they would give him exactly such immunity so that he can become a dictator, a king. And if you consider yourself a patriot and you know about the founding of this country, which was all about getting out from under a monarchy, it is your job to drop your previous loyalties and help us win. I don't want a king. You don't want a king. Believe me, because kings can be crazy and irrational, as Donald Trump is, and do whatever they want. We're no longer talking about just losing our bodily rights, just losing access to basic things like contraception, Social Security, Medicare, IVF. We are talking about a punitive, abusive, violent administration that is going to make our lives terrifying. This country will never be the same. This ruling is deeply bad, and the only way to get out from under this is to give Joe Biden, or whoever they replace him with, which I don't think they're gonna do, an overwhelming victory. I don't mean eking a victory out, I mean every single one of you who is committed to voting for a third party, stop it now. Unless you wanna live in a country where protesters can be unalived, and any person Donald Trump doesn't like can suffer the full consequences of his wrath. 5-alarm fire. This is dangerous. We can fix it if we win, if we get a Democratic majority in the Senate and the House and we get the presidency. But y'all, this is not a joke anymore. If you want the country that you live in right now with all of its flaws to remain in any capacity, get to work electing Joe Biden. Not a drill. Break the glass.